Hey everyone, wanted to come on and share my experience changing out the compressor on a '06 F150. I was successful doing it today and wanted to share my experience doing it and some tips or maybe some helpful tips that someone might be able to use. So I wanted to, like I said, I'm no expert. Just a weekend warrior, hobbyist. Like to work on my own vehicles, and probably some family members and friends that allow me to do so. But yeah, just in the hopes that it might be helpful to someone, as YouTube has been very, very helpful to me over the years, saved me hundreds, if not thousands of dollars doing personal repairs of my own. But anyway, so I changed the compressor on my, like I said, '06 F150. I used a video that was extremely helpful. I want to shout out that content creator, Helping Hands Auto Repair. The video was excellent. Step-by-step instructions were outstanding, and it really was helpful in helping me change the compressor. But I will say that it came to a point where a recommendation, he made a recommendation that caused me a lot of headache, and it wasn't until after a couple of hours trying it his way that I looked in the comments and tried another way that worked for me. I would say it worked for me, and hopefully it will work for you. Now, the compressor, all the way up to the point, and I'll put the link to his video in the description, and I would recommend that you follow it. But to the point where, and this is my recommendation, that if you don't have any luck trying it his way, you may want to try it my way. But when you're undoing those 3 bolts in the compressor underneath the vehicle, when you take the wheel off, just as he said, what I discovered, he tried to undo the AC lines on top of the compressor by that 10 millimeter bolt at the top, and he tried to do it from the bottom. He seemed to be successful doing it, but I was not. I spent hours trying it that way, and it did not work until, like I said, I read through some comments and formulated a plan of my own, which was to take out all 3 bolts, as he said. That top bolt does, the frame of the truck does prevent that top bolt from sliding all the way out. But what I ended up doing was undoing all 3 bolts, taking the bottom 2 out completely, and taking out the top bolt as far as I can get it out. Like I said, it slid out, and it does hit the frame of the truck because of where it's positioned. But then what I did was I came to the top side of the truck, after you moved the shroud and the fan shroud and this little skirt and this air intake assembly. You undid all that. So all of that is moved out of the way, and you get to you can't see it right now with the compressors down there. Once you undo those bolts, you can pull that thing forward. you can pull the compressor forward. And actually, again, this is my experience. I'm no expert, but I'm telling you what worked for me is when you pull, it does allow you to pull it forward. And actually, those AC lines, you might tend to think that those are kind of fixed, but they move, and they how it's connected, like right here, it actually swings. Now, I didn't see any necessary leaking after the fact once I put button everything back up. But again, my experience was once I was able to pull the compressor forward and actually swing it out, still connected to those AC lines, and I was able then to undo that crazy bolt at the top that holds that kind of block of those dual lines that go into the compressor. Now, I will say this. So I was unable to do it his way, Helping Hands Auto Repair. Again, shout out to that brother. He was instrumental in helping me do that repair. But like I said, his way didn't work for me, and I tried it that way. And what I discovered, there was no way I was going to break that top bolt loose from the bottom, because it was on so tight. And what I discovered once I played with that thing and I found out that you can pull it forward and actually swing it out a little bit where you have free access to that top bolt. It was so, stuck in there. I actually had to use an impact to undo that bolt. And what I discovered was that line was under pressure, and some of the AC, that the refrigerant kind of spewed out. Okay, so it was under a little bit of pressure, and it did spew out once I undid that nut with the impact wrench. I tried it by hand with the ratchet. It did not work. So I had to take the impact to it, and I was able to get it free. What I would also say too is, let me show you this, and he didn't cover it, but again, I found it helpful to me that this hose on the left side, I just undid this hose clamp and moved it out of the way, because and it was helpful. Why I did that is because it was helpful in putting the fan shroud back in, because it's a tight space in here to try to finagle that fan shroud out, and the fan as well, because you're gonna have to take that off as well. So I removed this hose and moved it out of the way, and I got a few inches of clearance here to move the shroud this way a little bit, because I don't know if you can see, like this part right here gets hung up, and the same is on this side. With this side, there are these lines over here that you can't necessarily unbolt. So getting a few inches of clearance over here by just simply removing this hose freed me up to move the fan shroud. Any other? Oh, the compressor itself. He didn't cover this. I watched the video many times, but I didn't see it. But when the compressor that I got from O'Reilly's, it required a little bit of AC oil in it, and this is. So you had to put a little oil in it. So I did this refrigerant oil to put in the compressor itself. It actually says it on the new compressor. Put oil here, so I put oil in there before I reinstalled, or rather installed the new compressor. But yeah, just sharing my experience. Hopefully it helps somebody, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna put a link to his video. His video was extremely helpful. Shout out to that brother and all the other YouTubers and DIYers out there that help save poor guys like me a few pennies. So I appreciate that, and hopefully this video is helpful to you. All right, good luck.